Need to. Keep your pants on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Woodlands, Texas. It's TRS Live. Heyo. And we are with a friend of the show. I think that's fair to say. Our good friend Lionel Sanders. Studio audience, give it up for Lionel Sanders. Colonel Sanders, as he's known in the business.
Do you like that nickname?
I don't mind it. One of my sponsors, Freshie, is not too keen on it just because it's the Colonel Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
So and Freshies is like a healthy.
And we're trying to get away from that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm leaning towards the Green Flash. I don't know where that came from, but
you're trying to implement your own.
I think it's because of all the green you wear and the
Yes.
speed at which you move.
One way to really make that nickname stick would be to wear green sometime and then remove all the green clothing. Flash everyone. Now
keep that in mind.
That will really get people talking.
All right, maybe next time.
I'm all about getting nicknames to stick. I invented the nickname Dark Mark.
That's not true.
That is not true at all. Why don't you tell us how that nickname came about, Mark?
I was going through a rough time. I was writing a lot of poetry, reading, a lot of dark. No, just it just rhymed. That's it.
Your name is out there now for everyone. He's on the front page of Slow Twitch. Mark Matchell.
Close enough. Just do me a favor and don't Google my race results.
Yes, Google his race results, please, and let's call him out for bad performances. Actually, you're pretty good, aren't you?
Really.
Hella Fredrickson said he's a beast on the bike, Lionel. Should Mark try to maybe quit his job and turn professional? Talk to him about that. You went from age grouper to pro.
What was your bike? What's your bike splits look like?
I don't know. I mean, I could go under an hour for 40K, whatever.
How's your swim look?
Can you do that, Lionel?
Terrible. I never broken 20 for the 5K.
Okay.
So,
maybe pro cycling.
well, let me get on a program and we'll see.
How are you with needles?
I can deal with it.
Lionel, how you doing, man?
Good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
We spoke to you last after Ironman 70.3 Galveston, which you won. That was awesome. What did you spend all of your prize money on? Or have you even received it yet?
No comment.
It takes them a while to get that out, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
No comment because you can't say anything negative about WTC anymore. You signed you'd have to sign an agreement.
Well, I'm an ambassador of the race, so yes.
Well,
that I would be on my best behavior.
The race Ironman Texas, you're an ambassador, or the race?
Yes, of the race. Yes.
I'm an ambassador of the race for Caucasians. We're not a very well represented race, and I'm trying to raise awareness about Caucasians.
It's a noble cause.
We get a bad rap, something about enslaving others, and a lot of other bad things we've done. Well, I'm glad you're a good ambassador, Lionel. I don't want you to trash anybody today anyway. But first question is, who would you like to punch in the face? Please trash someone else immediately.
I'm Canadian, so I have nobody that I want to punch in the face on the entire planet. And I'm anti-violence.
Let's talk about Canada. Is Canada the dominant country now in long course triathlon? Is there any doubt about that?
We certainly would like to be, but I think Germany's got a few more performances, and Australia has a few more performances, and the United States has a few more performances, but we certainly want to, I think, get into that ranking system a little higher.
You're poised to take the crown.
I don't know if we're going to take the crown, but we're certainly would like to compete.
How are you feeling? Good and tapered?
Yeah. It's been. I got a little bit of training in after Texas 70.3. It was very few, I think, physiological gains that can be had in that time. So it was mainly just, confidence boosting kind of workouts. And then since I've gotten here, it's been a bit of a learning experience because I really didn't know where to ride my bike or run because I'm like right in the middle of the city. So I just continued my indoor training. Fortunately, Cycles Texas here loaned me an indoor trainer, and so I've been doing my biking still on the indoor
Everybody
trainer.
Give it up for Baltazar. Cycles Texas hosting us. I also want to thank Cyclers Brewing. They've got 2 kegs of beer. You people that are racing tomorrow may or may not want to get into the beers, but some of the rest of us will. Lionel, no beers for you.
Maybe after I'll have one.
Maybe after the race.
Yeah.
That's good for you. And also want to just say that we're sponsored by BSX Insight. Thank you to BSX Insight. Go to, listen, honestly, tweet at them, because this wouldn't be happening without them. This was more expensive. I had to fly some people in. We had to buy some hotel rooms, and their contribution to us made this possible. So please, the 20 people that are watching on YouTube, how many we got listening? 18 people.
Nice.
Wow. These people are at work with their earbuds in.
Thanks for tuning in.
So thank you, and please tweet at BSX Insight. Thank you. Thank them for the support. Give them a follow. Because lactate threshold testing is very important. What among your confidence boosting workouts? I'm curious to hear about one. Tell us about the one that gave you the most confidence.
I did 3 hours at above race pace, Ironman race pace, to half marathon above Ironman race pace. That sort of has been, I did that before Ironman Florida, and that actually I didn't successfully complete it. I couldn't successfully complete it. So this time around I completed it. So I was happy. That was certainly a confidence boost.
What do you feel about a member of our studio audience with their cell phone going off, Lionel? Is that a
that's my manager / training advisor. So I'm gonna dock and pay that I don't pay him.
What's your name? Oh, Gary. Welcome.
I asked him to come on, but he didn't want. He's shy, I think.
We got a microphone up here. If you want to.
There's only 18 people listening.
That's true. We can do whatever we want. There's no pressure at all. Big race. You know, this is not your first Ironman. You are an Ironman champion, Florida, but we have to have an asterisk there, right? Because there was no swim.
Yes, unfortunately.
So here we are. I'm going to argue that this is a much deeper, more stacked field than Florida. No offense to your previous competitors, but this is, you know, you've got Ferris, who won 10 years ago in Kona. You've got, you know, a handful of Germans. You got some really good people here. Where's your head?
I'm certainly, I guess, humbled by the competition. I'm not coming here thinking that this is like an easy race or anything like that. It's whoever wins this race is gonna go right down to the bottom of the well for it. So I think though that I certainly have a shot at it, and I'm certainly coming into the race to race at the front.
Yeah.
Maybe very late into the race, unfortunately, because of my swimming, but I'm here to race. I'm not intimidated by anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a great field, and it's going to shape up because of the fact that you don't have too many really strong swimmers. I think it's going to be a very interesting race to watch, because you're going to have people coming from all different directions. Particularly the bike, I think is really going to I guess separate people, and then who, you know, you win the race on the run. So
yeah, it's going to be a blast, man. You are for the fantasy players out there. I mean, I gotta believe Lionel's coming into this thing fully tapered, and I know you enough to know that you will empty the tank. There's another race in the future that you're saving yourself for. You are trying to win this thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's but that's I think the most interesting part. Like my mom, for instance, who's here with me, said, you know, you got to race really hard, and the Ironman is one of those things that it's like you can't go into it with that attitude in the initial stages, because it really is. Other than maybe the first 200 or 300 meters of the swim, like you swim really hard, try and catch some feet.
Sure.
But then it's all on the bike in particular. It's about just being racing within yourself. So for the first probably 2.5 to 3 hours on the bike, it's not even very difficult. Like, because if it is difficult at 2.5, 3 hours, well, you're going to be probably walking on the marathon at some point.
What would be your wattage target first couple hours of the bike?
I'm looking to go something like 315.
Nice, easy 315 watts. Studio audience, let's give it up for Lionel Sanders. I think I could maintain 315 watts tomorrow for about 2 minutes, and then I would have an asthma attack. But that's why I have a dad bod, and that's why you look like you look. Well, I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for you. Are you going to try to mark anybody on the bike or on the swim? Or are you just going to stick to your numbers and kind of try to do your own race? I mean, there are tactics involved with the men's race, right? I
think that's the beauty of the long distance. Like the 70.3, you can get away with those sort of dynamics, I think. Like the pack riding and riding someone else's race, you know what I mean? If you blow up on the run, you might lose a minute or two. But if you ride someone else's race on the bike and then you blow up on the run in a marathon, like you're probably going to lose 10, 15 minutes or even more. You might not even finish. Who knows?
Yeah.
So no, I'm executing I have particular target numbers on the bike that I want to ride, and I have target numbers on the run. So ultimately I'm in a race, but I'm really not in a race. I'm just sort of doing what I am capable of doing and what I've trained to do. And I really don't think you can, in long distance anyway, you can do much more than what you train to do. You don't have like this huge breakout performance or something like that. It's like what you did in the training room, that's what you do here.
It's not like basketball where you can like get in the zone and all of a sudden play completely out of your skill level.
You can try, but I just don't think the body works that way. I think
No.
that's been shown many times. Like when I was in Kona, for instance, I saw very like champions and Olympians walking on the marathon because I would imagine because either nutrition got wrong or because of biking outside.
Well, yeah,
yourself.
last year it was exceptionally brutal. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, and it seems like people are willing to really gamble because it's, you know, probably the last race of the season. There's a lot on the line, so they will push themselves and take more risks perhaps than they would here.
I would imagine a huge piece of the puzzle is you might have to see people who are riding who are stronger runners than you and say, I can't let him put any time into me. I can't outrun him. So I have to at least come off the bike with him. And
Yeah.
so that's sort of, you get caught up in that mindset where myself, I'm in a bit of almost, I don't want to say it's an advantage, but I have a coming out of the water usually on my own or in a small pack. I don't really ride in a pack. So I'm sort of forced to ride my own race.
Yeah, it's almost that's almost an advantage.
I don't know if I'd say it's an advantage, but it's
I'm trying to help you here. I'm trying
Sure.
to give you confidence.
I would rather come out of the water.
Lionel, I'm going to
further
convince
ahead,
you now that being a slower swimmer is an advantage.
Yes, sure. Yeah, so everyone should swim slower tomorrow.
See if I
It's
can.
an advantage.
When you did your practice swim, were you able to see your hand in the water, or is it? It's pretty murky, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you can't see nothing, which is good. I prefer not to see anything.
I did this race 2 years ago in DNF. Would you like to ask me anything about the course, or you could pick my brain about strategy?
How far into the course did you make it?
I have to be honest with you. About 2/3 of the way through the bike, I was seeing double. I was swerving like if I was drunk.
And what do you attribute that to?
I attribute this. I'm blaming Tim Noakes, who told
Okay.
me via his writings to only drink when you're thirsty.
Okay, good.
I would recommend drinking even when you're not thirsty,
Yeah.
particularly if it's 100 degrees or whatever it was 2 years ago. I thought it was going to cook like an egg. It was a really stupid thing to do.
Was it sunny?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
hoping for no sun tomorrow, but I have a feeling it's going to get sunny, of course, the
Yeah,
day of the race.
I got to think that the hotter it is, some other people start to get some advantage on you. Is that incorrect? I mean, because
I don't know. I haven't done any long distance in the sun. I would say I'm pretty acclimatized to heat just because of I train indoors all the time. So
You keep it hot in that room?
it gets up to, like I did in preparation for this race, I bought 2 heaters and a humidifier, and I had the room up to 95 degrees and
What are you, a
70%
jockey or a
humidity.
wrestler? That's a hot boxing it in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very hot.
Yeah, actually, it's like a 10 by 10 room, and I started to think I was getting like CO2 poisoning or something like that.
That
because-
room's got to stink like shit at this
Yeah,
point.
we don't. No one else goes into the room. You don't. You don't want to.
You don't pop in there and watch TV.
No. No.
Strictly the sweat lodge.
Yeah.
That sounds really gross. I'd like to come do an MTV Cribs style thing where we videotape this residence of yours, see what to do in there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be successful.
Your
I don't
fiance
think.
doesn't even go in that room, probably.
No, she thinks it's disgusting.
Hey, it's what pays the bills, right?
Sure.
Some of them.
Mhm.
Have you actually changed the way you eat? You know, we talked about this before in our first interview that you, Dark Mark writes here, cutting out the home alone diet and instead eating like a real athlete, portioning healthy, clean meals. You get sponsored by Freshies. Has the diet actually improved?
Definitely, I would say I'm. What's interesting is I'm having a shift in just my natural, cravings. Like if you go look in my fridge, actually back at the hotel, I've got a medley of vegetables.
Wow.
I had 4 Caesar salads in the thing.
Wow.
So
Give it for Lionel Sanders.
Yeah.
He's almost a vegan. He's Rich Roll.
it's all about balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I certainly am just trying to hit all the food groups. I'd say is the biggest change as opposed to like the pizza food group and the fast food group.
Gummy worms aren't at the top of your pyramid anymore.
Well, I still eat, like I'll consume 16 gummy worms on the bike tomorrow. So
Oh,
my
that's not too
entire
many.
my bento box is full.
I heard a rumor that Barry Shepley once threw himself on top of a bag of gummy bears. It was a grenade to save you from them. Is that true? Gummy bears.
He did.
And
He tried.
pounced on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But I mean, I had this little stash in my back pocket, and it didn't work out.
He's excited. Talking to him regularly this week.
Yeah, yeah. He's in Japan right now, so unfortunately couldn't be here to spectate.
He's doing
But-
his announcement. Who's a better broadcaster, me or Barry Shepley? Be honest.
Well,
Tell the truth.
I mean, you guys are a totally different spectrum. Like I'd say you're definitely would be a good battle, no doubt about it. If we had some way to gauge that.
Isn't it true that I should be hired to do all the broadcasting for ITU along with Barry? That'd be
I certainly would. I would agree
studio
with that.
audience. I mean,
I would agree with that, definitely.
everybody tweet at World Triathlon and make this happen.
I mean,
come on.
you need to at least invest in like a sensor or something so you could bleep it out when we need to.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I am a professional in my work life. I mean, I have meetings with people where I have to do a lot of talking. These are important meetings, and I don't curse.
Okay.
I'm a decent human being. I can turn it off.
Interesting. I would have never believed that. But I'd have to see in real life.
Do you believe it when Barry says you can go sub 8 at Kona? I don't want to get ahead here, but
I don't recall him saying that, but
isn't it? Dark Mark, are you standing by this?
That's what
this
Jan
quote?
said. That's what Jan
that was
said.
an
Barry
incorrect.
said.
I'm going to say that was an incorrect statement. He said that about Ironman Florida.
Oh, okay. Well, you did go sub 8.
No, I didn't. There was no swim.
He went sub 7.
I went sub 7. Sure.
Technically speaking. Will you be disappointed if you don't win? Does it have to be a win to feel successful to you, or is this, a lot of other people probably would say, if I get enough points here, I'll be happy.
It certainly would be. There would be a bit of disappointment in the sense that, yeah, absolutely. I love to win. Like I'm a very competitive person. So, but no, I'm solely here to learn lessons, and I'm still very new to the sport. Like how I haven't even done a full Ironman as a professional. So, it's solely as a learning experience. And I'm really fortunate in that this race is probably very similar to Kona in the sense that it's going to maybe even be hotter than Kona when the sun comes out. It's probably the higher tomorrow is about 90 degrees with close to 100% humidity. So
yeah,
at the very least, it's going to be very similar to Kona temperatures. So it's a great learning
practice.
experience. Like I have no idea. I have a particular nutrition plan, but I'm just going to have to play it by ear. Even the wattage numbers and the running numbers, you have to go by feel. There's just no other way.
Is hummus part of either your nutrition plan or lubrication plan?
Not for this particular race. In 70.3s usually, but
You have a little tub of hummus with you.
yeah, usually.
That's what Ferris El Sultan uses.
Yeah, it's chamois
Really?
buttered hummus.
It's his chamois butter and it's nutrition.
Wow, interesting. Maybe try it out in
The
practice
spicy
first.
kind too.
You can learn a little something from him.
Try it in practice.
Hey, studio audience, anybody have a question for Lionel? We got a microphone up here. I'll cue it up. Otherwise, I'm going to make Zach Boring do a question. Talbot, come on over. Come on over here. I'm gonna cue the mic up for you. Give it up for Talbot Cox, everyone. He's very much in love with his new girlfriend. He tweets about her very often. There's often a lot of photos of them together. Very attractive couple. Talbot, you're from where? Dallas?
Oklahoma City.
Close enough. Don't correct me ever again on my show. Who do you think you are? All right, Talbot, ask your question of Lionel Sanders. Please call him Mr. Sanders as you address him. Show some respect.
Mr. Sanders.
Yes.
I was going to see if it was true that you only took 5 gel packs at your first Ironman, and what were you actually thinking when you did that?
Oh,
It's actually a very good question, and I can't remember exactly because I was nearly brain dead by the end of the race, but no more than 7 gels and maybe 3 Gatorade bottles. But I would say probably more realistically, it was 5 gels. And what was I thinking? I literally had no idea about the idea that you couldn't go forever. I figured I've always been a believer in like the mind is very strong and you can push yourself to the limits, but I didn't realize that the mind runs on energy. Glucose. Yes. This is something I've learned fairly recently. And so no, I had no nutrition plan, no nothing. And I just went as hard as I could on the bike and ate a couple gels and a couple Gatorades. And by the end of that thing, I certainly was, if that race was another 2 miles long, I think I would have passed out and not have been able to finish.
and by the way, for our audience, I know the answer to this, but are we talking about the first race you did, Louisville, as an age group, or are we talking about
Louisville? Yes, that's what you're talking about,
Yeah.
right? Yes. Like as proof, like I never swear or anything around my parents. And when at the finish line, I was like cussing all over like I was like drunk, like my personality center had completely shut down. That's for certain. So,
speaking of your parents, we met your dad, Doug.
Yes, and it's funny too. I don't think he realized that like you sell the real Starkey hats. So it was just a funny because he saw your hat, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it must be the real Starkey." Because I told him after, he's like, "That was the thing. Like people were wearing I'm the real Starkey hat, and so no one knew who the real Starkey was."
He thought it was like a name tag.
Yeah, he thought you were just wearing a hat.
Like I was the only guy with that.
It's just
hat.
funny that it literally was you though in that one time you ever saw the hat.
Well, and also I had a microphone and I had these things on, and
Sure,
so it might have looked like I was
looked pretty pro or something.
By the way, you had a very good sense of humor about the fact that when I was running alongside you with my microphone,
I thought that was hilarious.
it was hilarious. You started laughing. I mean, here you are racing your ass off, very, very fast pace with Cody and Potts, who are no slouches.
Yeah.
And Potts, very stone faced, didn't even look at me. Beals, even though he knows me a little bit and follows along, didn't really crack a smile. Lionel's cracking up, like he thought it was.
That must have been a little demoralizing to them, I think, because you're all probably hurting at that point. But
we were all hurting.
You still had the chance. To
it was
stop
it
for an
was a
interview.
it was a nice little bright light, a nice little takeaway from the pain. Actually, I think you should do more of it.
You think I should run alongside you and interview you?
Absolutely, maybe even get like a bike or something and just spend the whole race next to us, saying,
Yeah,
"Hey,
let's
how do
get
you
him
feeling?
a
How you
penalty,
feeling?"
Yeah.
pacing penalty.
Maybe I'll get you a
Let's
pacing
get you
penalty.
DQ.
Sure.
No, I don't want that. Maybe I will run alongside you and get another interview. You were even talking and answering questions.
It was funny.
That's a jackass thing to do, isn't it? When would I grow up, Lionel?
If you haven't grown up now, it ain't happening, man.
I know I'm 38. My God, I was thinking about this the other day. When I was a junior in high school, for extra credit in my English class, we did. You could make a video, and so in my parents' basement with my buddies, we did a fake David Letterman show where I was David Letterman, and I interviewed like Beowulf because we were reading the Canterbury Tales, and we made like a spoof. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, it's more than 20 years later. I'm still doing the same bullshit, the same nonsense.
It's your destiny, man.
Like what am I, a child
Fighting
still? It is fun though. It's great to hang out with huge celebrities, champions like Lionel Sanders, isn't it? Studio audience. What an honor. What's your dad? He's not in for the race, is he?
No, my mom came this time.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool to meet your dad. It was very cool. He was so pumped up.
Yeah, actually he listened to the show for the first time because I said, "You got to listen to this interview." He was embarrassed because he's like, "Is Cody Beals Canadian?" It's like, I hope I didn't embarrass you or anything by saying that.
I'm sure Cody was not embarrassed, and no, I mean the fact that he knows he's new to the sport, man. He's picking the stuff up as he goes.
He's doing good.
As he goes. All right. Well, audience, are we ready for some 5 questions for Lionel Sanders? What do you think? Oh boy. He's getting very pushy. Talbot Cox interrupting my program to ask another question. Talbot, first of all, let's talk about this relationship you're in and all these pictures of you and your girlfriend on Twitter. Isn't that getting a little bit too much?
I don't know.
I mean,
it's affecting my tri training. I know that.
How in love are you on a scale of 1 to 10? I mean, are we talking engagement anytime soon?
Yeah, probably so.
Wow. How much do you think you'll spend on the wedding ring? And do you believe in 3 months' salary?
I thought about selling my bike and just paying for the wedding ring, but
what's your
when I retire,
what's your income? We need to do 3 months worth of your income.
I don't know.
You bring your W-2 with you?
I can bring it next time.
Next time, before you ask a question, you have to show your W-2.
This is the worst show ever.
All right, Talbot Cox, who is in love, potentially will be getting engaged soon. I'm sure his girlfriend would be happy to hear this on YouTube. Please go ahead with your question for Mr. Sanders, and please do call him Mr. Sanders.
Mr. Sanders, how many nights of sleep have you lost, and how depressed have you been recently since you haven't been invited to the Bahrain endurance team yet?
Oh, good question, Talbot Cox. Give it up for that question, everyone. Please clap your hands. Bahrain endurance team. Did they invite you?
I feel like I'm on the same one that Dark Mark's on.
Oh, the
actually.
fake one?
Yeah.
The fake one?
That's the best.
I'm already on the team too.
And I don't know definitively if Mark is on this team or not. He claims that he is. He's wearing a shirt. It does look a little bit fake to me. Not the one, but the one he was wearing yesterday.
They probably ran out of money. They had to
Do you believe,
marker it in.
Do you believe, Mark, that he is on this team? I'm not sure what to believe anymore when it comes to him.
I definitely believe him. Like if you change the Twitter picture, like it's got to be legit.
That's official. You can't just do
No.
that.
They don't
But
let you-
honestly, did they approach you to be on this team? If I were them, I would have. You're a rising star. You're a big deal. Did they talk to you?
Chris McCormack had messaged me, and I sort of found out the details and that sort of thing. But I had already had all of my sponsorship and that sort of thing
So there would
completely
have
settled
been
in.
conflict then for you.
Definitely, just because I have the whole green set up and everything. So I
Doesn't match. I mean, Christmas green and red go well
Sure.
together, but
but like I said, I'm joining the
You could, all right,
this,
I'll put
the
in a
B
good word
team.
for
Is
you.
it the B team or
It's like the E team.
the E team? All right,
I consider having you on TRS Racing as a member of our team.
that'd be sweet.
Oh, all right, yeah. We can make that happen.
Cool.
Put you in touch. We can talk to your manager afterwards. All right, studio audience. Anyone else going to interrupt my show before I move on to 5 questions? All right, one more question for Lionel Sanders. Get up here. First of all, tell us your relationship status. Are you in love on Twitter?
No, single. I'm third wheel for Talbot.
Third wheel for Talbot. What does that
His
mean?
girlfriend.
Does his girlfriend try to set you up with her friends?
Her twin sister.
Whoa, twin sister. This is exciting. Boy, Talbot, I didn't get you back up here on the mic. We need to talk about this. To be getting married to a twin. This could be exciting and challenging though, because you're never going to break in. They are always going to be the most important people to each other. You will always be a second string compared to her sister. So anyway, good luck with that. We'll move on. Please address your question to Mr. Sanders.
Mr. Sanders, what's the gutsiest thing you've ever done in a race?
Ooh. Sir, please
Sir,
end the
sir,
question.
sir, Mr.
I would
Sanders.
say, I mean, I might get in trouble for saying this now, but in Oceanside, I had made it a point. If I caught, I thought maybe I have a shot at catching the main pack. And I said, if I ever catch the main, so I said to my fiance, I said, if I ever catch the main pack, I'm going to go buy them so hard. They're never going to forget it. And that's what I did. And well, hey, it didn't work out so well in the end, but I stuck by my word. So I would say that was probably the gutsiest thing. It was a over 500 watt surge for
That's awesome.
a good 60 seconds.
Keenley did that at Vegas a couple of years ago.
Did
It worked out a little better for him in the end, though.
So you never hit water cups out of anyone's hands?
Oh,
too soon.
No.
Too
No.
soon. Too soon. Oh, you're fired from asking questions. Come on. I don't know if you want to set this guy up with that twin sister or not, Talbot. All right. Thank you to our studio audience. I mean, this is so much more exciting to be live and to be with human beings. I mean, most of the time I do the show, I'm in a closet with blankets hanging up all over the place. So let's get started with some 5 questions. Lionel Sanders, a veteran of 5 questions. Question number 1. Who introduced the continent's first single-payer universal healthcare system?
What? What is the question?
Who introduced the continent's first single-payer healthcare system? And the continent is North America, correct? So in North America, who introduced universal healthcare?
Oh, universal health. It's got to be Canada.
It is, but there's an individual.
Oh, no idea.
Everyone knows this, right?
Who?
King of all Websters.
All right, what is it?
Tommy Douglas. That's right. But that is incorrect for you, Lionel.
Are we supposed to know that? Like,
You're 0 for 1.
He's Canadian. There's like 8 of you.
teach that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you all know each other?
I missed that in Canadian history. Is he Canadian? All right,
Webster, if you're going to talk,
Tommy
you got to come
Douglas,
get on the
all right.
mic. King of all technology, by the way.
We're gonna forget that.
Who was
Tommy
the
D.
first? Who was the first Canadian to win Kona?
Peter Reed.
Erroneous.
Oh, hold on.
I'll give you a hint. It's a woman.
Bowden.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Who is
the
it?
answer is Sylviane Pontus. Did I pronounce that correctly?
I know my history till about 2005, and then backwards from there, I don't have
It
nothing.
was 1983. You weren't even born yet, were you?
No, it's 5 years before.
No.
That's
Again.
my excuse.
All right. History, not Lionel Sanders' strong suit.
No, not at all. Can we move away maybe more
Uh,
into, I don't know, geography or math or something?
You should know this one.
Okay.
Within 100, how many Tim Horton stores are there?
Within 100? What do you mean?
Just guess it. If you're close, if you're close within 100, we'll give it to you.
Oh God, there's
How
gotta
many
be,
total Tim
How many
Hortons?
street corners are there in Canada?
At least 5.
I gotta say something like at least 1 million, something like that.
Whoa. Lionel Sanders.
Okay, all right. I wanna retract that one. Let's say there's 10 in a city. There's got to be 20,000.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
They feel like they're everywhere. I don't know.
4,590.
It just seems so low.
You are doing a terrible, terrible job at this game so far.
And the Tim Hortons are everywhere, man. Everywhere you look, there's Tim Hortons.
You're embarrassing Canada.
All right. If you're Lionel's
tough
mom,
questions.
if you're Lionel's mother, please press mute at this point.
She's here.
Oh, where is she?
I don't know.
Question number 4: are you allowed to touch the strippers in Montreal?
I believe the rules are no.
According to Dark Mark Research, the answer is yes.
Oh yeah, it's all good.
Maybe the Bahrain endurance members, but no,
I'm not sure.
not the regular folk.
I don't know if I'd bet my life that Dark Mark is right there.
Well,
Sometimes,
that's right.
Sometimes he just says things, and well, other people write stories about it. But
Aaron Webster, can you touch the strippers?
wow,
That's true.
That is terrible.
Wow.
I can't believe they allow that. Number 5. I'm going to give you a game show. Lionel Sanders, for all the marbles, what is your spirit animal?
A lion.
That is correct. Give it up for Lionel Sanders, everyone. Well, Lionel, you're a great guest.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate
I'm
it.
going to let this music mellow a little. I'm going to give more game show music before we close out. I love this game show music. I want to wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
I'm going to be out there on the course cheering for you and possibly interviewing you.
Okay, great.
I'm going to say this to you with all sincerity. I am rooting for you. I feel that you will win.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Dark Mark, any wishes for our friend Lionel Sanders? I consider him a friend of the show. He's like a regular.
He is. He's one of our first repeat guests.
Yep.
Just give me a lot of fantasy points, would you?
Yeah.
I'll try my best.
Okay.
Did you play fantasy for this race?
I thought it was just a little strange, just because it's a big race. I just didn't want to.
It is weird.
Until I see the first person get in a lawsuit or something. I'm going to hold off.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with it. But
I don't know the legalities of. I feel like this is a big race.
It would be hysterical. Lionel Sanders is leading the race, but he picked other people in fantasy, so he then jumps into the water, DNFs, just so that he can win $5 in fantasy triathlon.
I finished 3rd in the Mallorca series. I think I bet 2 and won $1.67, so it worked out all right.
Well, that check's in the mail, by the way. We'll get that to you right away.
Thanks.
You know, or you can let it ride. You can let it ride.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, BSX Insight, give it up for them. Okay. Tweet at them. Thank you for making this possible. We want to thank Cycles Texas, who they loaned Lionel Sanders a trainer.
Yeah, huge thanks to Cycles
Thank
Texas.
you, Cycles Texas and Baltazar, for letting us be here. We also want to thank King of All Technology, who got our audio fixed. It was crap yesterday, and now it's better. So give it up for King of All Technology. I want to thank Dark Mark, who's famous on the Slow Twitch front page. Mark Matchell.
Famous or infamous?
I don't know, but I don't know if you had anything to do with this or not.
I don't know. Let's just keep repeating my last name, though.
Giving you a lot of credit. Well, it's public now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, and we'll be back perhaps later today with some surprise interviews. We've got a few invitations out there. In fact, tweet at Bob Babbitt, because I want Bob Babbitt sitting in this chair. So give Bob a tweet. He's in town and said he might swing by. So thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.